Welcome to the Shizzly Show. We are still preparing to live stream, so I always wonder if we're still live streaming yet. Oh, okay, we're setting up live stream. So now we're probably live streaming. Welcome, folks. Dee, take it away. Tell people who is allowed to be here.
What's going on, everybody? This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only. You have to be 21 and over to be here. If not, you have to get the flying clock out. Back to you, Freemy.
That's pretty much exactly it, ladies and gentlemen. You couldn't have said it more concisely and more clearly at all. You have to be 21 and over, where I am, 21 and over. If you live somewhere where the rules are a little bit different, for example, I don't know, maybe you need to be a little bit older or something. I don't know what the rules are where you live. Follow your local rules, ladies and gentlemen. Where I am, you have to be 21 years old to be an adult in terms of cannabis and alcohol. Although, ironically, you can die for your country at 18. That's always kind of a thing that people wonder about when they're 19, 20 years old. They're like, wait a second, I don't understand. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have any power over that, so we have no control over that. So you got to be 21 and over. But you're welcome to join us if you are 21 and over. Looks like we already have hardcore hopping in. Folks, you're welcome to join us for the show. You're welcome to actually hop on and join us as a guest here today. We'd love to hear from you in the chat as well. We have very, very simple rules. Zero tolerance policy for any kind of goddamn garbage. So if you're a fucking prick, if you're a lunatic, if you're a goddamn dick and a half, don't do it. So long story short, ladies and gentlemen, don't be a dick. Don't show your dick. Don't be a fucking lunatic. That applies both in the chat as well as on the panel. Literally, no trolling allowed, no dipshits allowed, no fucking argumentative fuck faces. I don't care really why you're arguing. If you're arguing like lunatics in the chat, we're going to time you out. At best, we might ban you. At worst, I mean, there's really nothing else we can do, right? So, long story short, we'll either probably time you out or ban you. But for the 99.99999% of you who are totally
Oh,
normal, or at least can pretend to be normal for a little while during the chat, you guys are welcome to say hello. You guys are welcome to disagree. You're welcome to agree. You're welcome to say whatever you want, as long as it's politely, as long as it's in a civilized way. That's really the key, like if you want to joke around or something, blah, 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 just make sure that people can tell that you're joking. Make sure if you're trying to be, I don't know, kind of argumentative in terms of, how do I put this? You're playing devil's advocate or something. Just be nice about it. That's all. If you want to hop on, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pop a link here in a second, and you're welcome to join us here as a guest. Please do remember, don't be a fucking lunatic. Don't be an asshole. Don't show your asshole. You know what I mean? And the asshole can come from your face as much as it can from anywhere else. So no assholes allowed, ladies and gentlemen. No dicks allowed either, of course. But you are welcome if you are able to keep to those very simple rules, actually. Here we go. I'm going to post the link. Why is it not posting? For some reason, it won't post. There we go. Now it's
wah,
posting.
wah.
There it is right there. Welcome, Christoph. First in the chat. Well, let me double check that he's first because, of course, we need to
Mm-hmm.
switch to live chat, ladies and gentlemen. He's first in the chat. Le premier. Congratulations. I don't even know how to say that exactly in French anymore. It's been a while since I studied French. As you can probably tell, sometimes when I try to speak it, I am fucking rusty with a capital
Gagnons.
in French. Yes, exactly. Welcome, Digger. Good to see you, buddy. Of course, welcome to myself, apparently, in the chat, because I just posted the link. Welcome, D, one of the main moderators in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys are welcome to say hey and say hello and all that kind of stuff. In a second, maybe after we say hello to the buds, I'll remind everyone that I actually just posted some new lines on my website. So please go visit fumidoro.com. We'll talk about that maybe in a second here. You guys are welcome to hop on here and join the conversation, so please do remember. What's going on, D?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, chat? Oh, yes, what's going on, Freemy? I hope everyone's having a safe day. Thanks for coming and being safe. I'm smoking on.
They're not being safe. What if they're unsafe in the membrane? I don't even, that didn't work.
Right on. Um,
We're unsafe in the membrane.
I don't even know what I'm smoking on right now. Oh, it's the Mendo, not Mendo. I forget. Anyways, I'm smoking on stuff.
Smoking some
Here.
weed, smoking a
Yeah.
ganja,
I think yeah,
smoking a weed.
getting things set up here. Hello chat. Hello Christoph, Big Force, Digger, Bonjour. Come on,
Welcome,
Clubhouse.
D. Good to see you. What's going on,
Good to see you,
Hardcore?
Freeman. Hey, Hardcore.
Hardcore, do you ever just go medium, or is it always hardcore?
It's always hardcore.
Nice.
Softcore.
I'm
So when you go to
AFK.
7-Eleven and get some nachos, just a hardcore fucking nacho sauce everywhere, bro.
I just they let me go to up to just eat straight from the nozzle,
That's what she said.
Nice.
Heyo.
and then I
That
crush up
is
the
a
chips
hell of
and I
a
snort them.
visual, though. Just going up there and just raw dogging the nacho sauce nozzle.
Yeah, and then I crush some tortilla chips and snort them, and then I bang it on them.
Oh, that is exceptional.
Oh
That is a great
my.
visual.
And
And the first time you do it, you realize
I
it's
can
really
see
hot. So you're like, hot, 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 hot.
I can see
Oh, that is
hardcore.
hilarious.
I can
That
see
is delightful.
hardcore being the kid going, I guess, under the Slurpee machine right after. A nice
And
drink.
then he gets brain, he gulps a bunch, and then he gets brain freeze. Got to take a minute, and then he does it again, and he gets brain freeze again.
Yeah. No eating the juicer.
Good morning. Good morning.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Comment ça va?
Ça va bien. Thank you.
I hesitate to ask how hardcore eats the hot dogs.
Oh,
Hmm. It's either like a hot
Juice.
dog eating
how's
contest
that?
on Coney Island, or he boofs them all.
Tourterelle.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Twist.
Ah, c'est de la bière sans alcool. No alcool.
Ah, je
Beer,
comprends.
oui,
Beer with no
oui.
alcohol. Surprisingly
Yes.
popular these days. I actually kind of made fun of some people I used to know in Europe who drank no alcohol beer. And I was like, what honestly is the point of drinking no alcohol beer? But it's a super common thing now. It's apparently like what, 15 or 20% of the market now for beer in the US. I was like, what, really that much? And it has apparently, for the most part, nothing to do with alcoholism or anything else. It's just people want to drink socially. They don't want to drink sugary drinks because basically, people are trying to get away maybe from. So I guess it is a little bit kind of because of our culture, people are trying to get away from sugary shit and whatever. So long story short, they want to drink something like other people, but they don't want to get drunk. Da, 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 da. Anyway, it's still not up my alley, but
And
I kind of understand. I mean, certainly in the morning, I can understand drinking a non-alcoholic beer, but it's what am I trying to say? I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know. Sometimes you just have to stop and wrap your head around a concept that's really obvious to you. You're like, well, but wait, I kind of do like the taste of beer. Do I like it without the alcohol? You have to stop and think, and you're like, no, I don't really. In many cases, I don't even really notice the alcohol. It's very low, like 4 or 5%, da da da. When it's 9% or something, you notice the alcohol. But up to 4 or 5%. Most beers are only 2%, on and on and on. So it's like, oh, would you even really notice the difference if you remove the alcohol? Anyway, kind of just thinking out loud, but it's just very, very interesting. Bonjour, Christophe. Look at all those
Good morning,
seedlings.
Midor.
Good morning, buddy. Good to see you.
Juice, my friend.
Cheers, my friend. I'm
Yes.
gonna puff some. What am I posting? Budzingus from our friend Bingus. Budzingus.
I
Je,
knew it.
Tu connais le mec
Maybe
Bingus?
get the book.
Bangus, oui.
L'autre
Oui,
Bingus?
oui, je vois c'est qui,
Ça
Bangus. Oui.
c'est weed. How do you say weed from Bingus? Weed.
Ah,
That's how bad my
My
French
friend.
is. Uh,
ah, nice.
from. How do you say from in French? Oh, fuck me.
I don't
Le
know.
jardin du Bingus. Je
D'accord.
ne
Mais,
sais pas. Hein?
merde. What variety?
Budzingus.
D'accord, mais c'est tout,
Oui, oui.
quoi.
J'écrivais Bud Zingas from Bingus, right there.
Ok, d'accord.
Dans the YouTube chat. Oh, my French is fucking terrible. Once upon a time, I could speak it relatively well, and now it's just like,
Non, mais nice, hein,
oh, whatever.
super,
Thank
Midor.
you, but yeah,
Super,
no, it's all
super,
right.
my friend.
But
Nice.
Oh,
once upon,
Bien.
no, but I could probably
Je
speak
comprends,
Chinese
hein.
better than
Je
I can speak
comprends.
fucking French.
And don't forget, we got the French thing down the bottom too.
Nice.
Helps.
No, then at least he can understand if there's like, is there like an AI translation? I've never actually investigated it when D switches it over. You guys don't know what I'm talking about, but D often switches over
Well, they
like
can see it.
our language chat or whatever. So what does it do? Does it actually give him subtitles or what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And in YouTube.
Oh,
It's on YouTube as well.
really? Interesting.
When Christoph's
I
watching, or
understand.
anybody else that speaks French.
I
Then
see.
that.
So now all we have to do is make sense so that the translations can also make sense. That would be helpful. Because when we talk
Uh,
about random nonsense, then the people probably read in French. They're like, what the
holy
fuck are these
shit,
people
hardcore.
talking about? And what they don't realize is that we're just basically talking about nonsense. I'm kidding. Uh, what an interesting
You-
combination. He's got his carpenter bag. He's got his plants. Are you moving those plants somewhere, Hardcore? Oh, he can't hear us.
Oh,
That's
cool, huh?
crazy.
Cool, Semi.
Oh, you're muted, bud.
Ah, nice.
Can you pin that to me? I don't have
You want me to spotlight it?
a spotlight. Yeah, thank you.
Hardcore, you're muted. You don't seem to be muted. Now we can hear you.
These ones I have up potted already. This is just the other
I
day.
see.
Gotcha.
These ones I did two.
Banana.
These ones got to get up potted, and these ones got to get up potted.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I see you use the solo cup magic as I do as well. I want to get away from it one of these days, but I bought a whole package of solo cups, so it's going to be 6 months before I get rid of them because, they last me a while. But I
I
want to get rid
started
of them
them all in.
eventually because I just don't want to st keep like using plastic and whatever. But
Yeah, I
God,
want
they're
to
so
make my
fucking
own
handy.
cardboard ones. You
How do
can
Right.
you
just
use
like
them?
basically, get cardboard really wet, and then you can just mold it into whatever you want. So I want to make a bunch of
Uh,
cardboard ones.
that's a great idea. Yeah, that's a great
I
idea.
use these ones, but they're not
Um, I
from the
thought
dollar
about
store.
doing
They're
something
like they got a
similar.
wax on them.
Yeah,
Like these things won't even get my hot compost pile won't even eat them. They leave them behind. But
interesting.
these
Funny
like
thing about
I can let them get root bound in here, and then I
paraffin
just
wax
tear them
actually
open.
breaks. Oh, we're just talking over each other. Go ahead.
Well, I take these and I just when they're after like um I just tear them open with my hand instead of trying to fucking save them. I don't know.
I got you.
Do a solo
Me,
cup.
he like me, goblet red. Sorry, my friends.
Go ahead,
Me,
Christophe.
he like me, red, goblet red, là.
Oh
J'aime
yeah,
bien vos
yeah, yep,
gobelets rouges.
yep, yep. That's so easy.
French, il y en a pas, no red. C'est white.
Oh, white colored, yeah. Here the
Yes,
party cups are
ah,
always red for some reason.
white, mais
Yeah.
red, good. Ouais, bref.
No, if you see how
And
they
it
Anyway,
look
even
at.
it's become like a trope in movies and stuff, right? Like I don't know, American Pie or whatever. Whenever they go to the college for the fraternity party or something, and it's always the red solo cups, right? Anyway.
Midor, clip Tupac, red aussi, les clips de Tupac. Les
Oh
clips de
yeah, I
Tupac,
gotcha.
il buvait des gobelets red, ouais, aussi. Ça
I
date,
gotcha.
il y a longtemps, hein.
You know what I thought about doing? So I guess what I do, speaking of clipping, basically I clip the bottoms basically with some what are they? Metal shears, actually.
Well, I just
And
did
it
this
works
like
really
this.
well because the cups don't fall apart for a while. They eventually do fall apart, which is annoying, and then you just have to toss them. They just become garbage. That's a good thought too
Ooh,
with the knife. Oh, that's a great thought, actually. Yeah.
I got a good
Oh, I
tip.
like that a lot, actually. It's a
Here's a
nice
good
clean
tip.
cut. I don't know why I never did that.
This is a dull blade.
How about I've seen
Oh,
this.
simple as fuck. Yeah, I should just do it that way.
It's easy to do this diagonally with the scissors too.
Ouais, yes.
Go ahead, D.
Ouais.
Oh no, I was just gonna say a vegetable peeler. They
Oh,
work great.
oh,
I saw a
interesting.
video.
Yeah, I
Okay.
saw a video
Is it
on that.
sharp enough? A vegetable peeler sharp enough?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen it.
Okay.
I've seen a video
Where
on
the
it.
fuck? I have
I haven't
utility
done it,
blades
but
up my ass, like all over, like in every room in the house. I probably have a utility blade. I don't know why I never use one. Right on.
I usually use the utility blade.
Um, and that's the thing. It's just so hard to beat that. But I mean, you're generating all those little plastic bits of garbage and stuff. I don't know. I'm just conscious about that kind of stuff. I don't want to generate too much fucking trash. I mean, I guess I'm pissing in
Tout,
the
I've
end
got a little
compared to all the
box, a
garbage
garbage
everyone
box that kind of
creates.
went into it.
That's the thing, it's like we're really pissing in the wind compared to fucking DuPont Chemical or somebody. But at the same time, whatever, I'm not DuPont Chemical, so I like to do things differently. I've thought about, but I haven't actually done it. I've thought about basically, like you kind of talked about, making almost like a paper mache cup in a little piece of canvas, basically just stretching a piece of canvas. Obviously, a piece of canvas doesn't hold its shape, but if you could kind of squeeze a piece of paper mache cardboard into it and then
Well, you can.
basically dip that in paraffin wax, it would hold, doesn't have to hold indefinitely. And paraffin wax actually breaks down in the soil pretty well. You could easily use beeswax too. It's just more expensive, but that breaks down magically in the soil, breaks down really well. Long story short, a cup like that would last, I'd have to test it for sure, but it would probably last a good couple, 3, 4 months, way more long enough for clones, seedlings, et cetera, and very easy to poke holes in and stuff, so it could basically expand into the soil. Anyway, I haven't really moved forward with that, but that was kind of my idea.
Oh, screen's good.
People that have access to cork, which is not very common, but people who are like connected to wineries and stuff, evidently you can glue. There's apparently some fairly eco-friendly glues you can use to glue cork together. So if you just throw it in a grinder, basically, which is evidently what they do with the waste cork,
Like I
you
say,
can
you
turn it into
just wet
flooring or
cardboard.
whatever else, but you can apparently turn it into really good growing cups. Unfortunately, they're just kind of expensive where I find them. What's that, hardcore?
Just let cardboard soak for like quite like a long time until it's almost like a soup, and then you can
Kind
just
of
like mold
repulp
it into
it.
like a
Yeah.
cup.
I've seen people do
But
that literally for like art projects and stuff. Basically, they just kind of make cardboard paper mache, basically. You don't even really have to mix anything with it.
well,
Um,
it's like they make those or like semi-organic. Like I use quite a few of them this too. The little seed starter pods that are
mm,
like kind of like that whatever organic recycled material is. But it's like a brownish shit that's like woven. But like normally you can just set those right in the ground, but like my I'm too fast with these. Like they weren't getting. They would have just stunted them if I would have left them in those.
mm.
I just took them out.
Ninja soil plugs for when you garden like a
Muted.
ninja.
I'm muted. Damn it. So 95% of cork actually is produced in Portugal, Spain,
It's
and
true.
Italy.
Yeah.
Cork from a cork tree. I've seen
Pork.
this I've seen this video where they can only do it so many times, like once every 6 years or something, but they cut it and it comes out like a piece of cork. Or it comes out all like they
They
peel it
strip
like
the
a
tree
bark.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
They peel it essentially. They peel the bark
Yeah.
of the tree. Yep.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I never knew that.
Hmm.
So I don't know if Christoph drinks much wine, being French.
Probably.
Yeah, Portugal, Spain, and
Although I think
Italy.
Christoph said he doesn't drink too much alcohol, but I think most French people drink a lot of wine.
Do you drink wine much, Christoph?
Sorry, Guy. J'ai pas con-
Oh, do you drink much wine? Vino,
ah,
And Vino Veritas.
wine.
Est-ce que tu beuves le vin? How do you say that?
non, no.
Oh no?
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
surprise.
Yeah,
Ah
Catch,
yeah.
non,
That's
please.
no.
huh.
No, no alcohol, no alcool.
See, I thought
Oh,
so.
okay.
Euh, long time avant. Et
Oh,
mi maladie, malade, malade avec l'alcool,
Hmm.
maladie.
I
gotcha.
knew.
Ouais,
I act.
ouais.
I
Parce que
actually.
moi, je buvais beaucoup d'alcool avant. Je
Est-ce que tu
faisais
bois?
la Java, quoi. Je faisais la Java, quoi. Là.
Yeah, you
Et
gotta
après,
drive.
boum, malade. Alors
Yeah,
Hmm,
yeah, yeah.
maintenant,
je comprends.
I knew
ouais.
actually. I actually knew a Frenchman. Um,
Cheers, buddies.
he used to drink. He used to drink wine twice a day because it was healthy for you. He'd drink a glass of wine with his lunch, and a glass of wine with his dinner
Well, if you don't have problems
every
with
day.
alcohol, that's definitely a different story. But if you have a problem with alcohol, it definitely wouldn't be healthy.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't know who's making bank on off that fucking sweet church wine.
The church wine, believe it or not, it's only a couple different companies. For
I
example,
believe it.
with for the most part with the Jewish wines, it's mostly Manischewitz. It's this one company, Manischewitz, from like New Jersey or somewhere, and they make the overwhelming majority of all the kosher
Oh,
food.
shit.
Basically, there are other companies, of course, but they're the hugest company. So on every Seder table, on every fucking Passover
Bet they're owned
table,
by a
every
bunch of
single
Jews,
Sabbath
so aren't
table,
they?
there's always the goddamn Manischewitz crackers, Manischewitz wine, whatever. And evidently for the Catholic crackers, apparently there's one company, and for the wine, I've heard there's two companies that produce the sacramental wine.
They're
So
called
yeah, there's
wafers.
definitely like monopolies for the fucking sacramental shit.
They're called wafers. It's the body of Christ. Have some respect.
But it's
With Jesus.
wafer thin. The blood
Well, this
and
is
body
my
of
Hey,
blood.
Christ.
Bingus. Good to see you. Bingus was just here for a second.
In fact, I'm smoking his Budzingas.
Yeah, like,
Oh, and I forgot to say yesterday, I think I ever so slightly prefer the Budzingas. It has this very old school, reminds me a little tiny bit of the apples and bananas, this tiny little bit of old musky,
oh,
kind of Hindu musk. Just a little bit of it, just enough to notice. It's kind of fun.
oh. Speaking of apples and bananas, a little birdie says that you had some new strains going on your
You're right,
website.
actually. We could totally go and take a look at
Good
my website. Let
segue.
me see if I can. Well done, D. Let me see if I can. It would be better if I had actually had my website open.
I had it
All
open.
right, I'm just literally going to open a new tab.
I had it copied and pasted, ready to blink. Like, where'd it go?
F. Ludor, vous aimez bien, vous, le vin? You like me, le vin?
Do I like Vine? Comme c'est comme ça.
You like
Oui,
comme ci, comme ça.
je préfère la bière, whisky, qu'est-ce que c'est?
Ah, d'accord. OK.
Bourbon.
Le Bourbon.
Bourbon is basically
Oui.
just American whiskey. I guess you got Scotch whiskey, American whiskey. So je préfère beer, whiskey, what else? Coffee. J'aime le vin. Um, what was I going to say? I don't know. I've never really gotten into wine. I don't know how to express it. Like I'm fine with wine, but I can go 6 months without drinking a glass of wine. I can totally drink it every single day. It's fine. But I don't know. Yeah, comme ci, comme ça, mon ami.
Made a
D'accord.
wine over like a
OK,
couple years ago.
d'accord.
He
What's
drank
that,
her
hardcore?
body weight. And I used to date a girl that used to drink her body weight every night, pretty much.
Which is very surprising. Yeah, I've known women like that as well that are effectively alcoholics. People forget that women are oftentimes alcoholics too. Somehow, a friend of mine kept it together. I don't know. Like, she easily drank. And unfortunately, I think she was at the level where she was also hiding a little bit of it. So that was definitely full-on alcoholism when you're kind of hiding some of it as well. But she was drinking that I know of easily 6 to 8 beers a day for a woman. That's actually quite. It's more generally than how do I put this? For a man, that would generally be like 10 beers or something, right? Because they're generally a little bit less body mass. Anyway, what am I trying to say? Every single day, at least 6 to 8, if not 10 beers. Gosh, that adds up. That's a lot of calories. It's a lot of alcohol. It's a lot of stress on the kidneys and everything. I
I
wonder
used
how
to
she
have a
keeps
next door neighbor
up.
that drank. This guy was my next door neighbor. He drank at least a case of beer a day,
Oh,
and he
wow.
would drink like the 6% beer or whatever the hell it was,
Mm.
and or 6.8 or whatever, and he was a painter by trade, and like he could sit there at lunchtime and pound 6 beers, like I mean like Bud or these fucking old Milwaukee's or whatever there. He'll pound 6 of them down, and he'll go paint a straighter line than I could do with fucking painter's tape and shit. But that same guy,
Unfortunately, he
he
might
had to.
have needed the alcohol to get rid of the shakes. That's the
Oh yeah,
reality
no,
sometimes of that. Yeah.
definitely the case. He had to crack open a can of beer before he went to sleep at night, and have it waiting for him on his bedside
Oh wow.
because when he woke up in the morning, if he would get to the fridge and his DTs got to him too bad, he would he would go into tremors before he could get a
Oh
can
no.
open. So he
Huh.
had to always have that first warm beer with that because that can would be pre-opened for him.
Gosh, I don't envy people with that.
Sorry, hardcore, what variety cultivar? Humidor? Qu'est-ce qui fait pousser
So he's asking what
hardcore?
varieties you have there, hardcore.
What's up?
What varieties of seedlings?
Thank you.
Mostly blueberry muffin is what you're looking at.
You said blueberry muffin?
Yeah.
Ah, good,
Oh,
bien.
that's the blueberry muffin in crust you made. Right on.
Nope, just
D'accord.
blueberry muffin.
Oh, just seeds that you got.
Yeah, ones that I chose out of what I got, like all my survivors basically.
So you did breed those though.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
mean it was with seeds that I got seeds. I probably planted like I don't know. We have to go back to look at the videos, like maybe 50 or 100 of them or something like that. And I kept a few good males that I wanted, and I hit them all the like a branch of all the females. I don't know, long story.
So it was an
But
open pollination or what?
no, no, it was using the same. I can't remember if I used the same one male or what, but
So then I was right the first time. It was basically a blueberry muffin in crust that you made.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then there's some Cherry West stuff in here. There's some TK Triangle Kush by God. I used to have this one memorized, but TK NL5 Haze Lime One. And then there's some Cheryls that might the ones I'm fucking stoned. These ones, God, I'm fucking
So une
that.
variété, Christophe. Mais on avait, how do you say, he made seeds. On avait, euh, ça c'est le Sam qui ont, fuck. He made some seeds from. Tu connais le blueberry muffin, Christophe?
J'ai déjà entendu parler, mais
Ouais.
jamais.
On avait, how the fuck do I say this? He made, il a fait des grains à partir de blueberry muffin.
These ones are my
And
Chaz's.
so, how do you say and so? Fuck. And so, so. Donc,
Donc,
ça c'est majorité sont blueberry muffin, les fils blueberry muffin et variété what TK something else, yeah. Anyway,
It's mostly blueberry muffin.
yeah, that's
And
a
then
good
there's
cross.
ones that I
I
don't
like
even
that blueberry
know.
muffin a lot.
There's like maybe like six. There's like six odds and ends of one other strain and six odds and ends of another strain. That like each one of these is a different strain, and these little six cells.
I'm excited
I
to
kind
see
of
what
got a
you get
system
from
to
that
everything.
blueberry muffin. Yeah, that'll be really nice.
Oh, I
I
know what
really
I'm.
liked it the
I know what
first
to
time.
expect.
Pardon?
I said I know what I'm looking for, right? Because like I say, it
Yeah.
was only.
Well,
I
the
think I
funny
only
thing
had
is,
maybe
like, you already
four
almost can't
plants.
improve on the original, but so basically right now, all you can really do is find better plants. So how do I put this? Like, um, you're gonna find blueberry muffin. My complaint would be, at least my cut of it doesn't seem to be the most vigorous. Excuse me, and I got the same cut that, people pass around. Like I got it from Delman, he got it from Seattle Chronic Seeds and whatever. So I have no reason to think it's not the right cut. So what am I trying to say? It seems to be a wonderful, flavorful, everything else, absolute blueberry muffin, but it doesn't seem to be gigantically, titanically vigorous. It doesn't seem to
None of
be
mine ever got that
the
huge, but
first plant to, like, for example, when I put my plants outdoors, it wasn't by any means the first one to adapt to the outdoors, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It seems like it's going to be a relatively compact plant compared to, let's say, my Morganas, etc cetera, et cetera. So one obvious improvement would be gigantic plants. So if you could basically cross, for example, a vigorous male and some of those awesome females, and then look through the progeny, especially when you smoke it, but you'll be able to smell and how do I put it? This it's going to be like an F7 effectively. You're not going to have that much variation in the flowering characteristics. So you're honestly going to have a whole field of blueberry muffin, which is going to be a delightful experience to walk through. And then you're going to look
I'm
through the
still looking for
biggest,
the
baddest plants,
purple one.
basically, So that's actually a cool experiment. I like it.
Totally
There's
going for
not
the
really very
Dr.
much
Purple one.
breeding to be done with that, especially if you're using the in-cross that way. But I like the fact that you're doing it because, again, you can hunt for a really, really cool, vigorous, locally adapted version of that. Because people
I,
forget that some of those, I mean, it was bred in Northern California with completely different weather than what you have in Minnesota. So having something that you can run through 50 seeds or whatever and find the one that's most adapted to your soil, to your environment, that's really it's a gift that we have when we can make our own seeds.
yeah, I'm looking for the purple stuff.
You see? Right on.
Some of the ones that, yeah, no, it's like I can't. I shouldn't even.
I was gonna say your mom's looking for the purple stuff as well, but she found it. It was fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, I managed to open up a new tab with my website. Go take a look at fumidoroseedco.com. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to hit the I am 21 and over because I just hit it yesterday, so I guess it just did it already. I don't have new pictures for some of these. Unfortunately, I have some of the pictures for the bombs, but I think I told you guys it's a fucking disaster. My hard drives all got jumbled and oh, it's a disaster. One of these days I will finally painstakingly go through there and find shit because I do have some of the stuff like the apples and bananas, the Jack the Ripper male, blah 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 blah. Anyway, but for the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy my ridiculously cute looking puppy. He has this kind of absurdly long tongue, so when he's run around at the dog park, he kind of looks like a lunatic. Honestly, just, but anyway, a pretty funny guy. So, ladies and gentlemen, go take a look. There's 6 new lines available right now. There will hopefully be some new lines available maybe in the next few days. Gosh, it's amazing. It's already halfway through the week. Hopefully, by let's say next Tuesday, I'll release a few new lines, or maybe I'll release a couple new every week or something, because there's a few more coming. Most of these are going to be limited releases, honestly. Most of them I didn't get a ton of seeds. I have more, for example, of the Soul Ripper, what else? The Murder Boof, partly because they were outdoor plants. Some of these other ones, like the Banana Stand Massacre, actually is going to be really just a handful of packs. I have to go and decant them all and count exactly because I want a few packs for myself. But it's literally just going to be a handful of packs. There's more of the Jomo. There's more of the Skunk and Trunks, for example. The one that I think is the least, honestly, is the Banana Stand Massacre. The rest of them probably have an easy 10 packs or something. But what am I trying to say? I do still have the male. I can always breed him again. I can always make the Banana Stand Massacre again. That's the apples and bananas to Jack the Ripper. But I'd rather move on to other things. So if you guys really want me to move on or move back to that Jack the Ripper, that was kind of the idea to weave him into the genetic lineage, basically, and then bring him back occasionally. But I don't have to, honestly, ladies and gentlemen. So the way that I'm going right now, I certainly can take some of these lines, for example, the Jomo Argado and basically yes, the Skunk and Trunks, for example, the Soul Ripper. They have some really interesting genetics in them and pop some lines out of there and then weave those in the future. So I don't necessarily have to do anything with that Jack the Ripper in the future. I could always even get rid of him, honestly, if you guys really don't like him. But long story short, if you want new crosses with him, by the way, please request. I would love to hear any potential requests that you have. Also, if you have a clone that would be really cool to cross to that Jack the Ripper or anything else that I have, I'm always looking for new clones, ladies and gentlemen. I have something I'm sure that you would be interested in trading for, even seeds, for example. Pardon? Oh, D, go ahead and mute yourself. There you go. So anyway, we'll quickly look through there. So apples and bananas, JTR, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I just realized that I completely fucked up the. I was having this problem not being able to save the freaking. So apparently they're all free right now. So unfortunately, they're not able to be purchased. I'm gonna have to fix that after the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, ridiculous when you don't realize this ahead of time, but I didn't realize this ahead of time. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, these are apparently we'll just call them free for right now. They're promotional pricing of not available. Anyway, Skunk and Trunks, ladies and gentlemen, is Fiji Sunset by Jack the Ripper. What am I trying to say? Delightful flavor on that Fiji Sunset. I really want to get that clone back again. A few people around lately have been raving about Mimosa. I forget who. I'm going to mute you hardcore because we're getting some feedback. Um, for sure, Jones that watches the show. A few people have been raving about Mimosa, but I cannot remember who breeds it. Anyway, regardless, I think that that Fiji Sunset is honestly a little bit superior. Glazed apricot gelato by Grape Gasoline, honestly, and it really, really shows. It's a wonderful, wonderful cut. Grows resiliently, grows abundantly. It's got good yield. I didn't have a chance to wash it, but I'm sure it washes really well. Anyway, it has this like rotten jackfruit flavor. Basically, it's very, very interesting. It's very, very tropical. It reminds you of being on a beach somewhere, but it's got like rotting fruit basically. So you left some fruit out in the sun while you're out swimming or something, and it got rotten. It's got a great high, and then matching it to that skunk of that JTR, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a winner. Jomo Arigato, you've heard me talk about that Jomo before, but I haven't talked about it for a while. I am honestly still sour about the fact that I lost that cut in the shenanigans. It was one of the first main cuts that I lost, and I was just like, "Are you serious? My fucking Jomo's dead." Anyway, one of these days, I hope maybe to finally meet the guy that bred it. Actually, and maybe I could just ask him for that cut again, and he'll be apparently he's a nice guy. Maybe I can get it back from him or something. But the joy of missing out. It was basically a GMO cross, a really really interesting hash selected because he selects for hash. Is a very interesting process. One of the reasons why I was so excited to work with that is that he has such a different process. I've come kind of from the subcool line of things, and I do a slightly similar process to he does, but in a different way. It's not worth getting into details right now, but I was really excited to work with that. Anyway, I'm going to pop some seeds of that. I'm still going to make lemonade out of lemons, and we're gonna move forward with that. And again, like I say, hopefully, maybe one of these days I can meet the guy. And learn more about how he selects because he does it under a microscope and everything. Very interesting process. Anyway, that should be a banger, ladies and gentlemen. That GMO cookies with the Jack the Ripper. I think it speaks for itself. If it doesn't speak for itself, you're going to hear it speak for itself shortly. Khan, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know that, I fucking love Star Trek. I do. The one I was thinking about naming this all kinds of different things. I was thinking about all kinds of different villains. I was like, all right, which of the villains in history can I name this after? And I thought it would be the funniest to name it after basically one of the best Star Trek movies. And anyway, you know, if you know, you know. The One by Jack the Ripper, ladies and gentlemen. The One speaks for itself. It should speak for itself if you guys know about it. The only complaint I have about the one, two complaints I have about the one is it takes too long to grow and it's not super terpy. And one of the things that Jack the Ripper does, seemingly dominantly, it seems to do this predominantly, I guess would be the best word for it, although it is dominant genetically, it shortens the harvest time precipitously. So when you throw it against things that go GMO, for example, so that Joma arigato, that should be a fairly, although the Joma is already fairly short flowering, so that's kind of cheating, thanks probably to the jelly breath. Anyway, a lot of times when you throw something in with the GMO, you end up having the dominantly GMO long flowering time. Well, luckily, Jack the Ripper seems to be really dominant in the short flowering aspect. So throwing the TO against the JTR, ladies and gentlemen, pretty willing to bet we're going to have some very short flowering TOs. I have experience in this regard because I didn't release this to too many people, only released it to a few friends, but a couple of years ago, I called it Sauron. As you can see, it was villain oriented. TO to my Black Prince Ruby. And sure enough, the progeny were almost exclusively short flowering. So there were a couple phenotypes from a couple people out of many, many seeds that were a little bit longer flowering, but not 12 weeks flowering. They just needed maybe 10, 11 weeks, but most of them were 9, 10 weekers. Perfect. That was basically my goal with that cross. So long story short, this version of it, TO to JTR, should be a short flowering TO. The JTR is already very Thai hybrid or very Thai heavy, so you should pull out, I think, an incredibly frosty, predominantly Thai oriented, citrus oriented plant. Should be exceptional. The high should be exceptional. It's murder boof, ladies and gentlemen. So everybody likes super boof these days. It's really just blackberry. I wish more people would have acknowledged the blackberry, but it's a funny name. It's a funny concept and everything else. But it's basically just a very, very fruity, purpley weed that grows grows quite well, has good yield and everything else. Yes, my puppy is ridiculously adorable. You can't even see his like sky blue eyes in this picture. Yeah, you can tell he's just super cute. He's a lady killer, honestly. But and I'm shamelessly exploiting him for your purchasing pleasure. Buy more, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the puppy more and buy more. Perhaps buy 6 lines. You'll be able to look at him 6 times instead of just a couple. This is going to be one of the strongest, ladies and gentlemen, although I don't think there were any weak ones in that lineup there. Although I guess if I had to pick one that was probably the less strong, the least strong, probably that Murder Boof. Probably the strongest, on the other hand, would be this Soul Ripper, ladies and gentlemen. Goji OG, Pine Sol cut, basically. I always call it Pine Sol. I should start calling it more the Goji OG because that's the official name, really. It really is just a selected cut of the Goji OG. For some reason, and when I called it Pine Sol, it's easy for me to misremember who was breeding it or who bred it. I thought for the longest time, and I've said this over and over again, oh, I thought it was Green Bodie up in Seattle, who's apparently a very, very good breeder. But no, I'm pretty sure it was actually Bodie that everyone knows down in, I think Captain was saying Santa Cruz. That makes sense. I think that's about the right region. Anyway, down in Southern California, anyway. Uh, Exceptional breeding. Everyone knows him. Nepali OG by Snow Lotus, heavily Indica Afghan with an oddly sativa effect. Hard to describe, but an interesting breeder in that respect. Anyway, crossing that to the Jack the Ripper will guarantee a well-growing, potent plant. I've had a chance to test these. I've really, really enjoyed the progeny. My friends who've really loved the Pine Sol also enjoyed the progeny. So, long story short, ladies and gentlemen, um, a good even cross. There should be a variety of phenotypes in there so that you can select through, get more Jack the Ripper heavy, get more kind of Pine Sol heavy, I guess to say. The Pine Sol itself, the mother basically that I selected or that I used, is because I still have her. Semi-unique. I mean, it's surprising to me. It's always surprising to me that it's so rare to find something like this, but it is somehow still somewhat rare to find a cut that is just purely fuely, purely clean gasoline. And in this case, really like gasoline fuel aromas. When you're getting gasoline at the pump, not the gas in your hand, for example, if you spilled some gas in your hand, if you spilled it on the car or something, or if you spilled on the ground, those all kind of have an aroma, right? This is just literally kind of the fumes of the gas evaporating as you're fueling your car. It has this particular, most people find it very appealing. It's weird that we find that appealing, right? But it's this very appealing, fuely note, and there's almost nothing else. It's very interesting. There's very little of kind of an earth, pine, everything else. I really expected it from the name, especially. I expected it to be very like evergreen pine needles. I was talking about this yesterday. What was the cut that Stevie used to bring this all the time to the tasting group. White Rhino, I want to say it was. Yeah, White Rhino, I think he called it. Anyway, it was a cut that everybody apparently used to have in the Pacific Northwest. It was literally like pine needles on a forest floor. And so I expected pine sol to be like the soul of pines or something, the soul like pine sap or some shit, you know what I mean? But no, it's just a clean, clean gas. Very much like I used to talk about banana cream cake jealousy. Well, I expected banana cream cake, you know what I mean? And jealousy, for example, is this very fruity, kind of purpley flavoring weed or flavored weed. So I figured, oh, banana cream cake is going to be very custardy, whatever. No, just gassy, just clean, 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 gassy. Good weed, but like not what I was expecting, right? Anyway, but the Pine Sol has this very, very clean, middle of the road experience. People who I think don't really, people who react true to type. In other words, so when people say indicas kind of make you sleepy and sativas make you kind of uppity or whatever, um, when you behave that way, I think Pine Sol basically is kind of an even middle of the road, relaxing hit. It's very much, you can tell it's an indica, you can definitely tell it's a strong indica, but it definitely doesn't put you in the middle of the couch, doesn't make you fall asleep, stuff like that. For example, sometimes, I don't have it in front of me right now, sometimes Wi-Fi makes me a little snoozy. If I smoke that basically a little bit too late in the evening, oh, I might find myself fall asleep on the couch for a couple hours, right? But Pine Sol, it doesn't happen to me. I enjoy it for that, right? People, on the other hand, with ADHD, they really get this blissful sense of relaxation. It's actually one of the first times I've seen such a clear difference with like one cut that treats people differently. People with ADHD seem to really, really love Pine Sol. Anyway, long story short, Pine Sol JTR, I think it's going to be a banger, ladies and gentlemen. What can be good or what is good can always be better, bringing in even better growth characteristics. I've complained about how finicky especially my cut of Pine Sol is. I don't know if other people's are, but mine doesn't seem to be super, super resilient. It doesn't seem to be like being taken indoor, outdoors. It seems to prefer one or the other. It seems to prefer a warm garden as opposed to a cold garden. I need a little bit more. Flexible plant. JTR is always one of those plants you could fucking throw rocks at it, it'll still grow. You say harsh words, it's fine at it. Like Subcool had the mouth of a sailor. So any plant that survived his garden, he had spider mites, he had everything else. So long story short, if you could survive Subcool's garden, you can survive many gardens. I'm being facetious, of course. But long story short, Jack the Ripper does end up adding a lot of resiliency to a lot of lines. So I'm very optimistic about that one as well, ladies and gentlemen. I called it Soul Ripper for a reason. I think it's going to rip your fucking soul and you're going to enjoy doing it. Go take a look at those new lines, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, just the last few lines, or last few packs rather, of that Midnight Matrimony for freebies. And then I think I'm going to start throwing some new freebies out. I'm going to leave it as a surprise for the first few packs, honestly, because I haven't decided myself. But I think it's going to be some combination of that, which I haven't even named yet, those Coot Special Runts of Eden crosses that I was going to send out as testers, or I definitely have some limited release other Jack the Ripper crosses that I might throw in as freebies. We'll see, ladies and gentlemen. I always love throwing in freebies because people actually seem to grow the freebies even before they grow the stuff they paid for, right? It's like, oh shit, I got a bonus. I'm gonna grow the bonus first. I do it myself. Every time I buy seeds, I buy the fucking free seeds people give me, or I grow the free seeds that people give me first. It's a funny little quirk of psychology, I guess. But anyway, long story short, freebie rules still apply. You're going to get something extra. Go take a look, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget to use the coupon code D. What is the coupon code? I sometimes forget. It's escaped me right now. What is it right now?
Ah,
There we
brain.
go. That's what it is. I
Z.
remember now. Ladies and gentlemen, go use the coupon code BRAINS with a Z and save
Ah.
yourself a little bit of Skrilla and get yourself a loyalty discount, my friends. Go check those lines out. Don't snooze on the Banana Stand Massacre. I'm not kidding when I say that there's only a handful of packs on that one. Just didn't get a whole lot of yield on that one. And I can always breed it again. So if people really enjoy it and they request it again, I can do it again one of these days. I was planning to do it again, but I've now kind of pushed things back. I was going to basically do a whole new breed with Jack the Ripper, but I'm just like, I don't know. I was working on that for so long and it was this whole frustrating part of my life. I'm like, oh, let's maybe change chapters and reset and da da da. And maybe I'll come back to the Jack the Ripper in a few months when I've had a chance to reset and grow some of these progeny, because that was kind of the idea. I really want to get some of those Jack the Ripper, Jomo Jack the Ripper, the Jomo Regado. That's going to be fucking spectacular. Um, Sub and his whole team, basically, famously, almost all of them, maybe with the exception of Heroes of the Farm, although he also smokes hash, almost all of them were selecting for hash. They were making hash in their own spare time, selling hash, you name it. Like they were all selecting for hash, right? So, long story short, one of the wonderful benefits of Sub's old genetics were that they were usually exceptional for, especially for solventless hash process. Well, the Jomo has been specifically selected over a couple different generations. He's obviously selected quite a few more generations now in his breeding, the dude's Schwale, but the Jomo was from a couple, 3 years ago, some of his best work from selecting specifically for weak neck, and I guess I didn't get into that in the beginning of the show, weak neck trichome. What am I trying to say? Weak neck trichome stocks, basically, to the point that you essentially had a bubble on a stalk with a very weak neck that you basically would use harsh words and the trichome head would fall off. So as far as I know, he's content. I need to talk to the guy so we can actually learn more about his breeding process. But when my friend gave me the clone, my friend was friends with him and we talked about it. Da 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 da. Anyway, it was an interesting process. I was very excited to work with that. So like I said, I really am sad to lose that fucking clone, but it should be some exceptional genetics because both lineages, ladies and gentlemen, have been selected essentially specifically for hash. So anyway, good
I had
luck
to
on my
cheat and go at the dirt pile that's out here. I didn't want to do it, but we can't always be perfect, and I didn't have enough of my mix to
What's
go.
wrong with the
Put
dirt
out.
pile, dude? The dirt pile is probably better than the shit you got from the soil. No, people are
Oh
weird.
no, the
Like
soil,
gardening
this
dudes
stuff
are
that I got
weird.
here,
Seriously.
this is all like I go and I find fallen logs. They're like old trees. It's all sourced from the woods, and it's just like basically solid worm castings and broken up fucking like right underneath where the rotten wood layer is. There's
I
that
got you.
little layer. There's sparkly humus fucking.
That's what people forget that what's the brand Fox Farm. These days people know Fox Farm is kind of boofy, whatever. Fox Farm used to be pretty good, honestly. I think they just got too big, candidly. And although they are still private, but whatever, they you know, you can't provide the same quality of ingredients what you provide to every single store in the country. Anyway, I think that's basically what they were using. They used to use fallen log refuse essentially, and there's a lot of it. For example, I have some in my backyard where I think it was in fact I'm sure because it's just a stump, it was a stump that the previous owner probably just left, and it's basically been there long enough that it's deteriorated. And oh my gosh, how rich that soil is becoming. So if I left it to itself, it would take another 5 or 10 years maybe to completely break down. But if you go out there, just whack at it with a shovel or something, and then mix it with the soil. Fuck right off. Stuff grows in there like it's uh, 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 fertilized with I don't even know what. Right? It's
Yeah, this
such
stuff.
rich soil basically.
I've got a process where I go and I cherry pick quite a bit,
Mm.
and I mixed all my lava rock in here too. So I'm gonna at least
The lava rock is
spread
a
it
good
around evenly.
idea. Same idea as pumice, right? Lava rock is a little heavier, excuse me,
Yeah,
than
lava rock
pumice,
is
and it's
really
usually a
light.
little bit more expensive, but you can't get pumice everywhere.
Seems like
So, you know, if
It's
you can
really
get
light and
lava
it's
rock, just
inert,
use
so
that. Oh, one
uh
downside you gotta if you use a
but it's
lot
really
of
hard.
lava rock, evidently you do have to pay attention to where it's from because sometimes it comes from places that have like radioactive, comes from like basically mines. I can't remember exactly what the story is, but long story short, where I grew up, it's a long story,
Hawaii.
but we used to pave the driveway. We had it was a gravel road for several houses up a hill, basically, and we kind of collectively would pay for one of our neighbors that had the whole. He was a logger. He had a logging company, and every once in a while he'd go out and get a load of gravel, basically, and he'd go out and lay it on the driveway because he had not only a truck that could dispense it, but also I guess he had a bulldozer that he would smooth it essentially. I don't think he had his actual steamroller, but he would actually smooth it. Anyway, one day one of our neighbors was like, "Fuck this! I'm not gonna spend," and it was literally like a couple $100 every 5 or 6 years or something,
Oh, what
right?
am I doing?
He's like, "I'm not gonna spend $200. Da, 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 I'm gonna do it myself." So he went out and found apparently a source of free gravel, and they were happy to give it to him for free and happy to dump it off site as fast as possible because it turns out it was radioactive mine gravel that was sharp as fuck. And by the way, what do you do once someone has poured radioactive gravel all over your driveway? Nothing, because you can't get rid of it. Nobody will take your fucking radioactive gravel. That's why they gave it to us for free. So
Damn.
thankfully for us, it was not toxic enough to fuck anybody up. At least that's what everybody says. But it was definitely enough. It was sharp enough to fuck up your car and stuff like that. And it took years, actually. It turns out it took years for it to subside enough, basically, into the dirt before they could pour another
I
layer of
go.
gravel on.
Yeah, these lava rocks, they were hard as hell to fucking. I had a 10 pound sledgehammer that I was banging them with, and
Huh.
then I actually put them on a piece of
That's what
plywood
your
and
mama
drove over
says
them with
about
my truck a
me.
bunch of times.
Your mama was banging on that trunk for a few times last night.
It's my sledgehammer.
Nicely done. Did you see Jeff says the Danish word for soil is actually the same as earth? Same thing with in German, die Erde. What's up, Smash? What's going on, buddy?
Thanks, Mac.
Um,
Good morning, ça marche?
I guess
It's
Russian and
really
Polish
bumpy
have different
soil.
names for world and dirt. Uh, but yeah,
Money and
English
dirt.
technically, Earth, the official word for the soil, is the same thing as the actual name of the planet.
And I've heard the best place to get lava rock is from Hawaii.
Huh? I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
heard,
Get that fresh volcanic, you just pull it straight out of Mauna
uh,
Kea, buddy. Just go in there, grab it. Right out. Your experience may vary if you actually stick your hand in the
bucket at a
volcano, but
time.
that's really the only way
Gotta
to get
hurry
it
because it's starting
fresh
to
from the
rain.
source. Kind of like hardcore, getting the nacho sauce straight from the nozzle. You gotta stick your hand in the volcano, pull out that volcanic rock right when it's hot and flexible.
Yeah, I've
It's
got a
like your
key for the
mama.
machine. I don't even have to. I don't know.
For legal reasons, please don't do that, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a good idea.
Imagine getting sued. I put my hand in because Fumador told me to.
Oh, I've heard of stupider shit, dude. People, this has happened multiple times where someone will rob someone's house and slip on like a toy truck or something that like their kid left out, and then the robber will sue the homeowner for
Mhm.
breaking their back or whatever. It's just like, what part of this shit are you? Yeah, that's the American legal system, buddy.
That won't happen here at this house.
What up, Christoph?
Because they
Because
won't be able to.
they're not going to slip on a truck because you're going to shoot them. Bop, bop.
Exactly. Oh, they
Salut,
slip on it.
Smash.
Yeah, they won't be
Cheers.
found.
Cheers.
Nice. C'est bon.
Attack
Christophe.
kitty.
Yes. Nice.
Death by attack kitty.
And
Yeah.
always, folks, know where your shit comes from. Know, keep your eyes open because
Did you know I got a pet lion?
pocket of ants right there. I'm gonna get rid of those three. Hopefully that's all I see.
Oh yeah, I got to do my seedlings, water them tonight.
Mm.
Fuck it in this
Oh,
one.
by the way, I looked up yesterday. I thought I was too late to plant corn, but turns out this is still the right time. I probably
Mm-hmm.
could have planted it earlier, but so I'm gonna totally go and get some corn seeds. I keep putting it off, but I need to go get some
Something
seeds.
keeps.
Right on.
At this point, I need to get some starts for tomato. Well, I've
That's
already
what
got
I
a couple
do.
starts, but gosh, I'd like to plant from seed, but it's too late now. They probably wouldn't mature
Fuck,
enough.
Yeah, that's
ants
kind of
all
where I'm
over
at
this
too.
fucking shit. I should have been a little bit more cognizant of what I was doing.
It's funny. I put out.
Oh, those seedlings will still be
It's gonna
okay.
be a waste if I dump it out because I got all that lava rock in there.
Oh, I got you.
So I'm gonna have to go get some borax and kill the ants.
Very nice. Have
Oh,
sexy
but if
time.
there's no queen, the ants are just gonna vanish.
Okay.
So
Don't
I
you
Yeah, I don't
put
think
think?
I got
out.
queen. If I would have got the queen, I would have seen a lot more ants. Like I would have been.
See, that's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking. Like you have ants, yeah, but I mean, like the ants, you just kind of scooped them up. Like they don't know
if
what
you
the fuck
just
they're doing.
move.
They're looking for wherever the fuck they're gonna go, and they're just gonna get lost and die probably.
I was thinking I got a pocket of them because like I guarantee there's a pile like a basketball size just ball them in that fucking pile somewhere.
Oh, well, that's annoying.
But
Well,
yeah,
set
I
up
There's
put
some
you know about
borax
one
traps
cup, so I
then,
must have
yeah.
had a little pocket in that one cup.
Hmm.
But I can still see them crawling all over everywhere. But
Hmm.
because I have these in I haul them in my truck a lot of the times, so I don't want to get fucking ants everywhere. Shit,
You want to get ants in your pants.
Anthony,
and I don't have any borax. I just went to the dollar store and looked for it too, and they didn't have it there.
you need to vote
Uh,
rats. You have sexy time and have very nice.
Borax has started to get more expensive. I think that's probably why you don't find it at the dollar store anymore. It's literally, it used to be just a couple $3. Now it's like eight or $9. I've heard that the mine where they mine it has gotten more limited or something because they mine it basically down in Death Valley.
Huh.
Or some diatomaceous earth, but I guarantee there's not cheap shit there around here.
Which is not to say that they don't mine borax anywhere else. I know they have borax mines in China and everything
Oh,
else.
borax.
But the good brand, whatever, the Arm& Hammer or whatever the fuck, the one that you buy at the store, they're like the real borax or Mule Tame borax, whatever
The
that one
mule
is.
team, yeah.
That one is from Death Valley.
Well, fucking A. And now it's gonna fucking rain on me. It's sprinkling on me right now. And I got ants crawling on me. What the
He's
Motherfucking
got
fuck?
ants,
ants in his
dude. You're
pants.
literally gonna have ants in your pants. We were just
All the way to
talking about
France.
this. Are you serious? He doesn't even have pants. He's still gonna have ants in his pants. Fucking ants, dude.
Ants in your
so
pants
Yeah.
all the way to France.
You
That's the thing.
see?
I got ants. Yeah, my mind was telling me don't go in that stupid pile over there. That's fucking junk pile. But no, I just had to fucking get it transplanted. But well, you know
Way to
what?
go in a
We're just
trance
gonna
with the
hold off on this
ants.
transplant, and we're gonna leave these outside to nature for the night.
What's that, Smash?
I planted like 13 corn stalks and
Nice.
a black cherry tomato bush.
Right on.
So I
You just
started
reminded
with.
me. I really want to plant glass corn. Oh shit. Is it too late? Oh, it's been so long since I've
Native
grown
corn.
corn. Is it too late to sprout corn to grow? I guess that's another question that I have
No,
now.
no, dude. We already have sweet corn here. There's sweet corn stands already. It fucking blows my mind every year.
No,
Really?
you're right.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Although I think they grow that in greenhouses because we have mature, like they sell it now, but it's way more expensive than it usually, although everything is more expensive now. Uh, it was like $1 per ear, even at like Winco. So, well, you guys know Winco probably, but
I've heard
it's
of it.
one of the
It's all
more
you say.
reasonable. They don't, I don't know how do I put this. Like for example, at Safeway, it'd probably be $2 per ear, whereas Winco, I think it's $1 per ear.
Oh my
Um,
God.
although I think even it's cheaper now. Now that I think about it, last time I was there, it was like
Nice. Hardcore.
60 cents or something. So that's actually like in season price. Oh, right on.
So
That's
fucking
early. That's early for that cheap of a price. What's that, Smash?
so yeah, I
Mm.
planted a black cherry tomato bush and it's growing fine. I did 6 stalks initially. I did half the start. Went out there the next day and they were gone.
Oh shit, deer or what?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. So
Crows?
I went back in and I like the way they had these my starts, there was like 2 to 3 stalks in each. So I separated them and I planted all of those out. Oh shit. And I go out there yesterday and they're all fucking gone again.
That's fucking annoying. Yeah, you
And I
got something to eat
covered them.
them.
Yeah, I covered them with fucking uh, a trellis, not a trellis, but like a metal grate. So I'm gonna have to get some more. I
You're
think I'm
gonna have
gonna
to get some
transplant.
chicken wire. Yeah, you're gonna have to get some
My
chicken wire and
garden's
surround them.
fenced in.
How about a scarecrow?
Oh, it's fenced in, huh?
Yeah, we can go out there. Hold on.
How big is the fencing? Because rabbits could do it, maybe.
I think it's
Cheers, by the way,
rabbits.
Skunks. Skunks is saying that it could still be knee high by 4th of July if I plant the so gosh, corn. You know, corn is one of the C4 plants, basically. It's not C4 plastic explosive,
Mm.
but basically it's far more efficient at photosynthesizing than so-called C3 plants. For example, cannabis and almost everything is a C3 plant. Let me look it up so I can tell you the
I
not
love
stupid
corn.
version of
Corn's
that.
awesome.
What's that, Eddie?
Oh, I just say I love corn. It's
I know,
awesome.
right? Some people really dislike corn.
That's
Funny, I don't
crazy.
know why, but I guess just don't like the flavor or something. I don't
Yum. Liquid.
Gotta get you some
We
liquid,
got a
man.
corn.
know.
We got a corn stand around here that is some of the
You're
sweetest
coming?
corn you've ever tried.
Hmm.
I'm not.
We'll have to have a corn competition in the fall, dude. We have some pretty sweet corn out here as well. Uh,
My
Sweet.
uncle
list of
grows
C4
popcorn every year.
plants. What's that? What's that,
My
hardcore?
uncle, my uncle grows white Japanese hulless popcorn every
Oh,
year,
interesting.
and it is bomb as fuck.
Huh.
Like even the old maids are chewy. Like you can chew on. I don't know. It's really good.
Fascinating. So, by the way, in botany, according to Wikipedia, of course, in botany, C4 carbon fixation is one of three known methods of photosynthesis used by plants. C4 plants increase their photosynthetic efficiency by reducing or suppressing photorespiration, which mainly occurs under low atmospheric CO2 concentration, high light, high temperature, drought, and salinity. There are roughly what? 8,100. There we go. There's roughly 8,100 known C4 species, which belong to at least 61 distinct evolutionary lineages in 19 families of flowering plants. Among these are important crops such as maize, sorghum, and sugarcane, but also
That's
weeds and
sorghum.
invasive plants. Although only 3% of flowering plant species use C4 carbon fixation, they account for 23% of global primary production. It evolved primarily 30 to 35 million years ago in the Oligocene, and further origins, most of them in the last 15 million years. C4 plants are mainly found in tropical and warm temperate regions, predominantly in open grasslands where they are often dominant. While most are graminoids, what's a graminoid? Refers to an herbaceous plant with a grass-like morphology, right on. Other growth forms such as forbs. What the fuck is a forb? A forb or a forb is a herbaceous flowering plant that is not a graminoid. That's helpful. The term is used in botany and in vegetation ecology. Okay, it's like a daisy, I guess, or a sunflower. C4 plants are usually identified by their higher
Yeah.
blah 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 blah
See?
blah. Anyway, they're far more efficient, bro. So efficient. Hella efficient, bro. Including and it's the weirdest plants, like fucking that purple stuff that's on the sidewalk, and then sugar cane and corn. It's such an odd combination of things, right? But hey, that's
Okay,
nature.
so
There's
I had at least 12 or 13 Doctor here, and they're all gone. Gone. No idea where the fuck they went. It looks like that something dug them up, but
Yeah, you gotta. If it's not a crow,
I
could
covered
have
it.
just
Look,
been a crow that grabbed it. Do you have crows around you?
I got a lot of rabbits, moles. I got everything.
Because it's the thing, how'd the rabbit get in there? You said it's fenced around there. It's not a great fence necessarily, but it will keep rabbits out. A deer could jump over it, but it'll keep a
There's a
rabbit
couple
out.
spots.
Oh, unfortunately, you're cutting out a little bit. Oh, is there a couple
Keep
spots
the
that could get
dogs
in?
out, but the rabbits are kind of yeah.
Pretty crows.
If they
Yeah,
really
rabbits.
wanted to,
Keep a bunch
If
of
the,
garlic,
Pretty
the
like
crows.
it's a courtesy fence for dogs. That's not helping with the rabbits, unfortunately.
keep a bunch of garlic for like a day in hot water, and like throw some like cinnamon in there, or like cinnamon extract and shit in there, and spray that around your perimeter.
Are you friends with Elmer Fudd? Could you get Elmer Fudd to go out there and hunt the wascawee wabbits?
there's something under there right now, moving.
You see?
Get the gun. Get the shotgun, Ma.
Oh shit, it's Frank. No,
It's probably
Frank, run
more.
for it. Run for your life, Frank.
Use the creosote.
Oh,
Probably
we
your mole.
It could be a vampire.
But yeah, I got it all covered.
Oh,
All
It
this
could
is
be
gonna come
Saddam
off.
Hussein.
I'm gonna
it
actually
could
go to
be
the store and buy more
what's his
starts
name?
tomorrow.
Nice. Yeah,
Um, but yeah,
I need
this
to do
one's
that as
doing good.
well.
Shit, keep
Black
thinking
cherry
his name.
tomatoes.
Hmm.
It could be Jimmy Hoffa.
It could
Looks like
be.
it's actually
It really
doing
could be.
pretty good too. I got some male plants that I got to put out here.
Oh,
I'm gonna let them see if they flower or not.
okay. I guess I'll watch the playback.
I remember how much shit we were giving Smash a couple years ago because you left your male plants out in the fall and everyone's like, you realize you're pollinating everybody's fucking flowers, and you were like, dude, there's nobody for like 100 miles or something, right? But everyone
Living.
was talking so much shit. It was pretty funny.
So I live in like an old person neighborhood.
Old people smoked weed too, man.
Yeah, but
And the
not
California used
question
to
people.
is,
have
do the old people grow? I bet you there's somebody. And every single year he's like, fuck, why do I always have seeds in my weed, bro? When I was a kid, that
California
didn't
used to
happen.
have
There,
California used to have laws in certain counties where, at least on a commercial scale, where hemp farmers could not move into a place where there's already a grandfathered in medical grower growing or something like that.
Because the hemp farms would fuck up the medical grows, huh?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
if you look at my backyard, I
there's.
won't when I'm making seeds. That tree's probably 20 feet tall. It's a bush, and it blocks off my whole garden. Most of the time, the wind's coming across this way,
Hmm.
and all of my backyard, that's all woods to a golf course.
Tie a beaver to that fucking thing.
Four.
So yeah, there's a golf course that way.
Smack.
I wonder how that golf course affects your growth characteristics. I wonder for the better or for the
Oh, look at
worse.
there's little mice.
I wonder if their pest control methods push pests towards you, or if their pest control
And
methods keep pests away from you. I'm sure there's an effect, but I wonder what it is.
and
How
what
I
about the
intriguing.
just seen
water?
some mice.
What
For
about the
example,
water?
I
What?
know that my garden is affected in a variety of ways because not far from here there's a, a park that they've kind of let grow fallow, basically, and so there's a lot of, for example, I oftentimes when I first moved here, although I don't see them anymore because I got my puppy running, kind of patrolling the area, but deer used to hang out in my backyard and they used to kind of eat one of the rhododendrons I have in the back, or what is it, an azalea, whatever, whichever one it is. They would munch it and kind of prune it on the bottom. What else? I've got more bugs than, for example, I used to. I used to live in a completely different area that was farther away from any kind of a wild area, so I really didn't see all that many wild bugs at all. Now I see all the time, see dragonflies,
Mm-hmm.
hummingbirds, on and on and on and on. So the not only your immediate surroundings, but the surroundings in your immediate area or your nearby surroundings, those really affect your gardening characteristics. And it's
The first farm,
always pays to pay attention to those things, you know?
the
Yeah,
first farm
these
that I
woods
worked
put
on,
on a pretty good
when the
buffer.
neighbors would spray, it would be, I mean, just like you would know instantly. It would just be fucking every type of bug. Just would be. It was just crazy. It was like wrath. It was like biblical.
Yeah. That's unfortunately this is catching up with us in a major way throughout the country, throughout the world actually, but throughout this country, people are talking about there's a massive bug disappearance basically, which is going to lead to a cascade of failures. It's going to lead to a cascade of bird deaths, etc. Bird deaths are going to lead to eventually a spike because, of course, when you get rid of all the wolves, all the deer overpopulate, even the really sick ones, and then the sick ones spread all their diseases to the non-sick deer, and then you have a huge crash. So the same kind of thing is going to happen. Basically, the birds are not going to be able to eat all the mosquitoes, for example. Then there's going to be a gigantic wave of mosquitoes that might actually cause a huge wave of disease among people, don't forget. And then, of course, there will be, thankfully, a crash with the mosquitoes because
Yeah.
fuck them very much. But yeah, we're going to
It-
have a cascade of failures here coming up pretty shortly, it looks like. There's
So,
another massive bee die-off. Yeah, things are not great.
so these woods don't have any real predators. We have actually a turkey problem.
Hey, there's one behind the camera. No, I'm joking.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Ah.
Dude, you should,
Okay.
there's a whole family that just keeps growing every year. They live up in these
And they go
trees.
and they taunt you, and they're just like, gobble, 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 motherfucker. This is our street, bro.
What is
You ever
that?
seen a
Western
fucking a
Samuel
turkey that
Jackson?
probably weighs 30 pounds fly up into a tree? Because I have.
Gobble
They're
gobble,
they're they're a little
motherfucker.
daunting, yeah. I mean, you could still kick the shit out of a turkey, don't kid yourself.
Oh yeah.
But it's gonna gobble the fuck out of
Oh,
you. In the meantime, it's gonna just gobble, gobble,
Well, if
gobble, and
The
they're
you
males
gonna
are
scare them
attack
up
you
in the
when they're
woods and
friend.
they
They
come
got
at you,
claws and
man.
stuff, so it's not like they can't damage you at all. But
I
yeah,
in
the
the
never had
males are
end,
turkey.
kind of
in the end, you are the apex predator. Remember that. When you said there's no predators in those woods, don't forget you are the apex predator in those woods. We sometimes forget that.
yeah, but I don't hunt
Never.
them.
You could if you wanted to. If
Yeah, I
that
could.
turkey gives you the wrong look, remind it. If you wanted to, you could hunt that turkey.
Oh, if anyone lives in Mass and wants blueberries, these things produce so much that I don't know what to do with.
The fuck? Oh my gosh, wow.
Make jam. I'm glad
Yeah, I
Mrs.
could try
D's
I've
making a
got
is
jam.
not around.
four blueberry bushes. Mine aren't quite ready yet, but they've got nice fat fruit. Two of them actually don't have fruit yet, but two of
Nice.
them, one of them is actually probably going to be ready in the next maybe couple of weeks. But I'm going to get a lot of blueberries off one of them. Basically, I have what, one, two, three, four, all in a line.
Yep,
Plant number
same.
two, I guess you could say, is the biggest one, and I'm going to have probably the most blueberries off that one. But oh
So
man,
one,
Nice.
blueberries are so freaking good for you, dude. You can make jam, like.
Yep.
Oh,
I had to fence this off because one day the dog went in there. My
one of the
sister was
best antioxidants you can get, actually, one of the
Yep.
few, most Americans have almost no antioxidants in their diet to the point that coffee is their number one antioxidant. Coffee is an effective antioxidant, but it's not very effective at the doses that most people consume it at, essentially. Long story short, you need more in your daily diet. Things like blueberries are extremely helpful with that.
Yeah, Mrs. D's sister, she has a cottage now in PEI. So she went down there last year, her and her family, and Mrs. D's mom, and they ended up buying like I don't know if it was four great big bushels of wild blueberries.
Oh, awesome.
So they ended up making like jam out of it.
Hmm.
It was crazy. It was
Gosh,
like
that is a
so much
lot of
jam.
blueberries. That becomes a problem of its own. Years ago, I
Yeah,
had, what was it? Not only grapes, we had a ton of grapes, but we had a ton of, one of my neighbors and I went gleaning around
moonshine.
the neighborhood, which was funny. But fuck, it was another fruit. Oh, now I can't remember for the life of me. Apricots or some shit. Anyway, we had way too
Ooh.
much. It became a problem. Like we were like, what are we gonna do with all these fucking apricots? Because
I've
they'll
never had it.
spoil if you don't do something with them pretty much right away. So we were like, all right, let's make jam. And, oh, it took like 2 days of us making fucking, and we gave it away to everybody. Because how much? I mean, I love apricot jam, but how much apricot jam could one person eat? in a month, in a year, like it becomes too much.
Hmm.
uh,
Please
I'm gonna have to
explain
get
to me what kind of Portland hipster bullshit gleaning is.
it's basically you've never heard of it before. It's going to your neighbors and harvesting from their trees, essentially. And you're supposed to do it with permission. You're not supposed to go and rip off people's fucking trees.
yeah.
But you go, a lot of people are like, fuck, I don't care about the fucking apples. Take them, like they don't want to do anything. And a lot of times, if you don't actually harvest them, then they just fall and rot, which becomes its own idiotic problem. You get raccoons and everything else, right? So a lot of people are like, dude, please come take my fucking fruit, which is what your mom says all the time. So long
Uh,
story short, several of our neighbors were like, "Oh yeah, come take the apples, come take the grapes, whatever the fuck."
Yeah, if
Uh,
if it produces too much, they go to waste. So might as well let people
100%.
eat.
Yeah, figs. A lot of people don't even like figs, so they're like, "Dude, I got a
I've
fucking
never
fig
had a
tree. It's
fig.
pretty and stuff, so that's why I keep it." But Jesus, I don't want those figs. Take them. So people that like figs go and take them. You know.
You don't
Been a
eat
So when
minute
you're
since I
figs?
had a big
walking, when you're walking through the woods in Massachusetts, you come across these
Oh,
stone
really?
walls everywhere, and they're from the Revolutionary times.
Oh, sorry. I guess I wasn't spotlighting your video, so I didn't see what you're talking about. Hold on.
Yeah, there's old
Oh, right
old
on.
fencing or property lining
I got you. Right on. Cool.
from early settlers. That's what this is what they use. You'll see them all in
Huh.
the woods around here.
Is your guys' property line still that line, or have they changed it in the meantime?
Um,
A lot of
I
that
actually
is from
I need to get a survey because I don't actually know where my
Huh.
property line ends.
Huh.
I think I
a
might
lot of
have
it is
to
from
draw.
It may
when
well
they
have
were
changed in
clearing
the
out for
meantime, but
fields.
what's that, hardcore?
Around here, they got what they call field rows, where it can be in the woods too, somewhere where like 100 years ago, someone could have tried, cleared that land for a plot of for field, and then they line up the rocks just end up on the property line because that's off of the field,
Hmm.
off to the side.
That's right. You see that in Ireland, for example, they till the soil and you don't want the rocks in the soil, right? Everyone knows you take the rocks out of the goddamn soil where you're doing it, and they just, what else to do with it other than put it on the side, by the fence. So you have all these rocks, stone fences, basically. Clever use of existing
You
environment,
know,
existing
They've got this thing now
materials.
where the farmers around here they have a drone service come out and map their land, and then they'll have a guy with a skid loader with a rock bucket on it it'll point him towards all of the fucking
Oh,
surface rock.
interesting. They just send them
you
to
mean
the
I actually
waypoints. How
think
clever. Yeah.
that is my property line.
Oh, that would be fun.
They
I
do.
mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it stayed because there wouldn't be really a reason to change it. But at the same time, it may well have changed in the last couple hundred
I think
years.
it's
But how fun it would be if you literally had the same old property line as some settler from 200 fucking years ago.
I think
Do you have a
it
county
goes to that
GIS
rock
page?
Hmm.
right there
Because
because
around
I
here
see
we
the
get
blue.
like
There's a blue ribbon right there.
Hmm.
I think it's called GIS or something like that. Where like you can go on there and it'll show you where everyone all the
Dude,
property.
That's true.
if
Yeah.
I
A lot of different municipalities have their own website for that. For example, Portland has Portland Maps, and you can go look up your house and you can look up the survey data and everything. And not everything is like legally binding, but they try to be as accurate as possible, right?
um if
Well, as
we
far as
couldn't
the lines, like the police use the fucking the GIS survey, I think it is for like right of ways and for this is their 911 calls and all that shit, but where the
Hmm.
property lines are. So
uh
you can look on your map and like pull off it to this, know where the right of way is. Also, if you see utility lines in the ditch, that means that there's right of way there, so you can be there publicly.
Hmm.
yeah, so these two are the biggest blueberry bushes. The dog a couple years ago decided he wanted to eat this one. So he literally was like taking off
Nom,
the
nom, nom,
branches and
nom.
stuff. So we had to gate it in, but it actually I can already starting to see fruits starting. The birds fucking love it over here. But
I'm walking here. I'm a bird.
I got a pretty decent sized garden area. I want to get. I'm
Yeah,
probably
I
gonna get.
wouldn't complain at all. It's a decent size. What is that, honestly? Probably, oh, it's gosh, almost like 15 by 15, easily. Maybe even 20 by 20.
I think maybe like 20 by 15 or something.
Uh,
I would say 18 by 15.
something like
18 by
that.
15. That might be about right because it's probably about 5 inch, 10, 5, 10, maybe like 18 by about even 12, maybe. Still a decent sized garden. What the fuck? And the only thing stopping him from making it bigger is moving the fence if he really wanted to. So yeah, not too shabby.
I'm
You
letting
just
these
go.
girls get a little tiny.
Yeah, I could push it out
How
that
about
way,
you?
but for some reason, I live on a hill, next to an old granite quarry. So this
Huh.
whole hill that I live on is granite underneath.
Oh, interesting.
So my yard holds water for a lot, like it's still soaking wet back there.
Fascinating. Interesting.
Look at your
If you
mom.
look, the garden is
So you
raised up like,
essentially are just like the topsoil
They look
layer on a
funny.
granite slab, basically.
yeah.
Oh, fascinating.
Could you
Here,
do
I'll show
something
you.
like could you do something like some kind of hydroponics? Because the grass is so.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, it's
Gets
like
into the
muddy. Shit.
once my garden gets
Oh,
into the ground, I know I rarely have to water unless we have a huge drought.
huh.
I want to figure out what kind of tree this is because it's beautiful when it flowers.
Green one. Just kidding.
It's definitely a tree kind of tree.
I don't know if it's a tree or a bush either.
Kind of hard to make out from it has evergreen leaves, doesn't it? It has needles. Oh, no, no, no. It has leaves. It has leaves.
It's
Oh,
poison ivy.
And it
it's
grows like
poison
a
hemlock.
willow.
Run!
Like look, it like drapes down. It's interesting.
Somebody in the chat will know what that is. I can
Fuck, I was
almost
gonna go
But
remember.
paint on the lake too.
What's
yeah,
that,
if
hardcore?
you look, my garden's raised up probably 4 or 5 inches.
Hmm.
And then on this back side, I actually got to clean it off because I haven't done it in a year or so. Right here, there's a drainage that goes all the way to the road.
Mm.
So my garden's always like I don't really need to water once it hits the ground.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
You just need some anti-rabbit protection. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, get Elmer
that's
Fudd
about it
out
right
there with a
now.
shotgun. He'll solve that problem right away.
Oh.
Or maybe the Wile E. Coyote. I don't know. I mean, he's more Roadrunner focused, but I'm sure he could help. Who
Probably
else?
do. Probably gonna get some more corn. I got a couple
Rabbit season.
hem
So,
Duck
dog
season.
crosses that I'm bringing outside. I don't know. I haven't
uh,
decided if I'm gonna try to make feminized seeds again or if I'm just gonna do regular seeds.
yeah, good
Probably just
question.
regular because feminized I really messed up. Well, I didn't mess it up. I was just lazy.
Hmm.
I definitely started it too late.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's true. I remember now.
Oh wait, here I'll show
Cheers,
you
by the way,
before I go
folks in
in.
the chat. It turns out we've actually blown right past the 20, but I still feel like rolling a joint, so we're going to stay a little bit longer. Cheers, Jones, and to grow. Good to see you, buddy. In fact, I'm about to smoke a little bit of your weed. I'm going to be smoking a little bit of Tis But a Scratch, one of the freebies that I've been giving out for the
Nice.
longest time. Still giving that one out, by the way. What was I going to say? Good to see you, Jones. Thanks very much for the very kind gift. There's a little bit of the Budzinga still mixed in with this because I had a little bit left over from that last joint. So this is going to be kind of a 70-30 probably split of Tisbit to Scratch and Budzingus, ladies and gentlemen, from our friend Bingus. Cheers, Polyfigs in the chat. Good to see you. Cheers, Western Main Man. Good to see you. Who
This
else in
has
the
been
chat
in
here?
here since
Jeff's
last
hanging with us.
outdoor season.
What's that smash? Here, let me show it.
That's been in here since last outdoor season.
Just abandoned all to itself.
Well, I brought it inside because it was getting really like I had a light in here. I was getting really late into the season. And then I kind of just gave up on the process because everything was starting to rot.
That's funny.
But yeah, I got a little light in here and everything. I could potentially put seedlings out here and just start them for the outdoors. It's
Yeah,
kind of wild.
why not? Totally
These are
can.
T8s. They're not T5s. They're T8s, I think.
Hmm.
Just
Those are
enough light to get them going.
Hmm.
That's what I use.
I've always wanted to turn this into a garden, but it's
Yeah, I was
hard.
just
Not
gonna
a
say that probably
Duma.
wouldn't be a bad place to start the seedlings. It'd be nice and warm up there. Hmm.
Someone that puts chickens in their rafters. Little
Hey,
I
that's an
chickens.
really
idea.
still
You could
want to
totally turn
try.
that into a chicken coop if you wanted to. Huh.
I never got it. Does that?
I would do like, yeah, if I were to do a chicken coop, I'd probably do. There's a door down there. Let's see what I'm saying. There's a
Do you
door
guys
right there.
have
I
chickens in your area, Smash? It's allowed in Portland for the most part, but not everywhere. For example, in
I don't
Vancouver
know.
across the river, I don't think they allow urban chickens, but I don't know
I
that for
really, I
sure.
think we might allow to have chickens, but no roosters.
Hmm.
But I really don't know. Oh yeah, I'm waiting for this Matrix.
Cock
Literally
too.
got all pissed off at me and lost
Hmm.
all its flowers, but it's still
Oh, that's
growing.
annoying.
So I'm gonna let it just kind of chill.
I bought some plants at one of the local garden sales a few weeks ago, and most of the plants were fine. But unfortunately, I bought a Japanese maple that I put right out front, and the fucking thing died literally the day I came home. Like all the
Oh,
leaves went to shit. Like
oh,
I don't even know what they probably sprayed it with something. I don't even know. But literally,
those are
the
really.
day I came home, like that night, the leaves already turned. So fucking
That's too
ridiculous.
bad. Those are really nice trees.
Yeah.
Expensive too.
Thankfully, I didn't pay too much, but pretty
Yeah,
fucking annoying, you know. Still,
yeah.
any money you spend on bullshit plants, you're like, what the fuck, dude? Tell us what you guys are puffing on, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna hang out for a few more minutes as I light this one up, and then maybe we'll slowly bounce out of here, maybe in 10 or 15 minutes here.
But yeah,
Cool.
I can't wait to try this strain. It's such a crazy cross. It's called Don Yeti.
Oh yeah,
Double per.
from Soulfire out
Diesel.
here.
No, it's from actually a local company.
Oh, all
Crystal.
right.
Here, I'll actually let's see if I can show it.
That's what she said.
Donetti's.
Is it clear?
Yeah,
Donetti's. Yeah, I would say Donettas or Donetti's or something. Don Yeti is something else.
So
I put a Y in there somewhere.
double parentheses Wi-Fi OG number 3 cross the Biker Kush V2
Oh,
to Gorilla Glue number 4. So that's one
oh.
plant.
I
Ooh.
wonder
And
what the
then
Biker Kush V2 is. Huh.
I don't even know. And then they crossed it to s'mores.
Hmm. Oh,
S'mores.
it's a donuts. That's what it is. It's fucked up spelling of donuts.
Plan.
Oh,
These blueberry muffins are getting gorilla planted in the woods.
Nice.
but yeah, DGC Jeff, I keep forgetting, but if you're still in the chat, I got your seeds right here. I'm gonna package them up and try to get them out by Monday.
Fuck, man. This thing.
Sorry, I'm really slow at mail sometimes.
Yeah.
But why male models?
Oh yeah, Fumi.
Why?
I'm about to. So my next
You just cut
is
out.
gonna be whenever you send me seeds. I'm
Oh,
gonna do
I
your
need
seeds.
to, I should fucking do that this afternoon. In fact, I have seeds right in front of me to send, so I have to fucking do that. All right.
Nice. Um, so I got Jinx Proof Genetic Hellbot, which is Robot Girl that Hell's on Wheels. Um, gonna pop those next. Then
I have to
Lake
be honest,
Tahoe.
that's not going to be your style of weed.
I don't even know what those are, like what they are. So I just figured I had them, and they're gonna go to waste if I don't pop them.
That's a good thought.
Or trade
This
them.
one of the ones I'm more interested in. It's Lake Tahoe, Tahoe OG to Blue Dream across the Blueberry Afghani.
Yeah, that's going to be good. We talked about
Ooh.
that once. That's going to be yummy.
And then I got Shen's
Hmm.
Potion going from Miranda Family Farms right now. I only got a couple grapes and cream. There was 5 seeds and only 2 of them actually went. But with your seeds, whatever you send me, Lake
I need to
Tahoe,
send you.
the Jinx
I might
Proof,
send you that Soul Ripper. We'll see. Oops.
and then Gorilla Butter.
Ash all over
Yeah,
the table here.
too.
Right on. I want to try Gorilla Butter. I've had a chance to get some dabs, lime rosin, some lime rosin on that.
Jones Anti Gross and Tisbit of Scratch is good and different. Tisbit of Scratch is different because it was an open pollination, basically. It was an open pollination with one, or now was it two males or was it one male? No, it was one male but multiple females. Then I mixed the seeds. So you sometimes get the really fruity one. There was a really fruity phenotype in there. There was also oh no, I pulled all the seeds from my favorite one and number three. So I kept those separately. No. I pulled the number one in, but I pulled the number three out. So it definitely doesn't have the seeds from my favorite one, the one that became the Black Knight's Delight, basically, for example. But everything else, there was this really like Rooty Tooty fresh and fruity phenotype. There was
Rudy,
one that tasted like a strawberry bubble gum, on and on and on. And so the fun thing about Tisbit of Scratch is you get this crazy variety of those mothers, basically. And so sometimes you pull out that one that was just like where I selected, and sometimes you pull out this one that's totally out of left field, but they all seem to be quite fruity and also quite
I like
sativa-inish. What were you going to say, Smash?
I like fruity. Oh, that's a good
Mm.
name, Rudy. I just think Rudy Tooty, fresh and fruity is funny.
Yeah.
Um, I've been looking for something like really fruity. That's kind of why the papaya chemo has become my favorite because it's got
Mm.
that fruity gas.
Mm. That's that kind
Or
of dominant profile right now. Bud's talked about it a bunch of times. Basically, gas with a little bit of fruit. Everybody's been doing it. I guess arguably that banana cream cake was that way, like just a little hint of something else. People just seem to want the fuel with something else in it. That's the dominant paradigm right now. I think it's going to shift one of these days, but what does it shift to, I guess, is everybody's question. Um, Fascinating. Yeah. You
um,
hear about it all the time. Oh, it's gassy with a little bit of this, gassy with a little bit of this. Okay.
I guess it's not particularly gas, it's more funk.
Huh.
When I say gassy, that means just fire to me most of the time. And like
Huh.
I don't really I miscall things a lot of gas because I've always grown up and said like, oh, that's gas, even not for weed. You know what I mean?
I gotcha.
But I guess it's more of like a funky alcoholic fruit.
Hmm.
I love
And you're
gas.
right. There's a lot of things. For example, I used to say horseradish to a lot of stuff, and then I realized actually this is just gas for most people. It smells like horseradish to me, but when you say the word horseradish to most people, they're like, "What is that? A kind of a horse?" Like they don't know what
Yeah.
the fuck you're trying to say. Um, So saying gas is a lot easier. Saying all kinds of different stuff, you're just easier just saying gas to people, right? Um, it's just one of those things. We don't really have a fully developed cannabis language that we share across, first of all, across cultures, definitely not anything like that. But we also don't even really share it across much of the population, you know? So we found that the other
Oh,
day.
right.
In fact, we were just talking about, what were we talking about? I think we had, Bud and a couple, I think Hardcore was there. I can't remember exactly who was there right now, but we were trying to talk about weed and we were finding ourselves talking past
Oh,
each other. It was such a weird experience. I was like, really? Even here, we can't agree.
I must have
I want
missed
to make
that
something
one.
called a terp deck, which is a deck of cards that's got different, different terps on them, scratch and sniff type shit.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, I like it. With the scratch and sniff cards, that's a great idea.
Yep, terp deck. Or like markers even.
Hmm.
Oh, that'd be a fucking kick if everyone was sniffing markers again to get to smell,
That's
feel
right. No,
good.
I'm not getting high. I'm just learning
I love
terpenes.
the smell of this grape. Oh my God, it smells so good.
That's it. I'm not getting high. I just like the smell of it.
I guess I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue.
Oh, are you drinking raw
Oh, this
paint
little
again?
fucker. God damn it. Somewhere there is a Sharpie marker without its cap again. Somehow this fucker keeps finding Sharpies. I still don't know how he's finding multiple Sharpies. The other day he got a Sharpie and found it. It was all in the beds. There's like a big old fucking black squiggle in the middle of the sheet.
Oh,
So
damn.
somewhere there is another Sharpie without a fucking cap. Ugh, the joy
Oh
of puppies.
no.
Where the fuck is he finding Sharpies? I don't even know.
He's got
Well,
a
some asshole has
stash,
my
didn't
pen.
you know?
He's totally got a little stash of Sharpies.
Probably under his bed. His
Like
little
Cheers,
Mark,
bed or
Couch.
whatever.
the doctor took the rectal thermometer from behind his ear and he said, "Some asshole has my pen."
Bro, I went to order stickers and they gone up like $5.
You ordered what?
I went to order new stickers. Well, not new ones. I'm running out of these ones. The ones I like. I can't even show it. There's like two left. Um,
Gotcha.
the stuff I put on like different strains and stuff, so I can write
Mm,
in what strain it is. So I went to reorder them, and they've gone up $5 because I get them
yeah,
from China.
yeah. Trump administration just today admitted that actually, no, it's actually us that pays the tariffs. He was pretty much lying the whole time. Everybody with half a fucking brain knew that. But yep, turns out it's us that pays the fucking tariffs. Duh. That's how tariffs work, literally. So you're seeing it all around the place. When I go to Costco, I'm getting sticker shock. All the different drone stuff that I used to look at. The $500 drone is 700 something now. The Insta 360, what is it called? Insta 360 Go or whatever, the one with the gimbal or whatever, is now like 800 something dollars. Like, just come on. Um, what else? And then even just little stuff is going up, yeah. And that's going to have knock-on effects all over the fucking place. I try not to, but every once in a while I get lazy as fuck and I go to the grocery store and just get a frozen pizza and toss it in the oven. And this one stupid frozen pizza that I like, I noticed that it went up $1, and I'm like, motherfucker, I like that pizza, but I don't know if I like it $1 more pizza. I don't know. I was having that thought. I was like, I like that pizza for $1 less than it is now. I don't know. I'm just laughing at myself. I'm like, what does a dollar mean, in the grand scheme of things? But, I'm just looking at this pizza. I'm like, I don't know, man. But
It was
I don't
97
sure
know.
enough,
cents more. You
something in their
wouldn't have even
supply
noticed.
chain went up. What's that, hardcore?
It was 97 cents more. You wouldn't have even noticed.
That's it. That's it. Actually, technically, it was. Uh, I think it's 6.77 now, so it's 77 cents. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not even 20% increase, but somehow it infuriates me. I'm like, I'm not gonna spend
It's
one
not.
more
Oh my
dollar on that
gosh.
pizza. Shut the fuck up. Like,
It's
because
not.
part of it is I already know I shouldn't be fucking having a frozen pizza. It's processed trash. I should just fucking make my own pizza if I want to. But
I eat frozen
I
pizza like 3 times a week.
I really want
well,
pizza
you've
oven.
described yourself as a rabid raccoon, I think, one time on the show, didn't you? Hardcore. I think you said you would eat almost anything that fell in your mouth. I think you said one time.
I'm kind of a glutton. I eat a lot of junk.
Dude,
Or
I
was it
every time
somebody else that said that? It was a memorable phrase. Like, I'll eat almost anything that falls into my mouth. Uh,
I'm not quite that
um
open with it.
Well, actually, I might have the box of pizza upstairs.
oh, the Costco frozen pizzas. I can't swear to every single one, but they
There's
had a good
another
one that I
one.
got not too long ago, and then I ate all three of them and don't have them anymore, so I can't show
There's
you.
one.
But it's whatever. It's the Italian soppressata. So if you see one with a soppressata, every Costco is different, so not all of them have them, but probably a lot of them on the West Coast, for example, have them. In fact, I'd be willing to bet because they got them from Italy. I bet you all around the country they have this one. It's the Italian wood-fired with soppressata. It's actually pretty good, pretty fucking charming.
Cool, because I think we're gonna be getting our
every time I
coffee.
go to like Big Lots or Menards or Ollie's, they all have a pizza oven for sale, and I would love one.
I've got a pizzazz
Pizza ovens
motherfucker.
have really gotten a lot cheaper. Yeah, they make all this different new what is it called? Because it used to be you had to use lots of brick and everything else, and there was no way to make it decently for less than a few $1,000s. But
I've
now they
got
have
something
several
called a
different
pizzazz.
brands. They've got the Gosney ones that are a couple $1,000s, and those are baller as fuck, honestly. But really, for a couple $1,000s, it's a hell of a fucking multi-fuel oven because they can be wood-fired, gas-fired, you name it. Um, And then they got the
I
smaller
paid
ones. I can't think of all. There's a few different brands now, actually. Now that I think about it, what's the big brand? It's called. It's got a stupid fucking name. It's like Oahu or some shit. What is it?
Wahoo.
Oh, it's on the
I
tip of my
know.
tongue. It's one of these stupid fucking Uni or something. Uni. There we go. Uni stoves, I think. I think it's supposed to be like a Finnish name, but it's not Finnish, I don't think. They're probably made in China too, so all those fuckers are probably going up
Hey,
now.
Mom.
So they used to
I've
be
got
only a couple $300. I bet you now they're $400-$500, thanks to our illustrious president and his spectacular
something
deal
called
making.
I've got something called a pizzazz. It's like a fucking it's like $70 or something like that at Walmart, I think. But it's like
Huh.
it's a tray or like a metal tray, and it just goes on. There's a heating
Oh,
coil
it goes in
above
your
and below the
oven.
metal tray. No, it's just it looks like a turntable almost. It's just fucking it's just a little thing that sits on the open air, and then the tray spins around. Um,
2 turntables and a
What's the point? It just turns it on
microphone.
the grill or what?
um,
No, the
I'm trying to
heating.
think
You know
where
what I'm talking about? There's a heating element, and it's in one spot, and it rotates the pizza to cook it evenly.
Oh, I see. Okay. It's like a turntable
That's
pizza
something
maker. All right. That's
It's
kind of
kind of
funny.
cool.
I
Huh.
got something like
yeah,
that
So
kind
for
it
of
my
kind
like
of
mom.
cooks the pizza a little bit at a time around in a circle. That's
say this
funny.
is a circle, and then it's just
Hardcore's
like
got
a
your market.
fucking
No, I got you now. Yeah, that's
yeah,
so it
like
turns the pizza and then
from
cooks
the
it a
side view
little
it
bit
looks
at a
like
time.
this. From the side view it kind of looks like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Looks like Pac-Man.
How freaking funny.
But the tray spins around, and then there's like a heater on the top or on the bottom or both. But it cooks the pizza in 10 minutes or 12 minutes. And you can like I cook like uh, chicken tenders and all sorts of shit on it too. A pizzazz. Fun to say it too.
I found your Sharpie, Fumi. Hardcore has it.
Huh,
All right.
it's about time to get out of here.
Yeah, I got to get out of
Yeah.
here too. I hope everyone has a good
Later,
day.
smashed. Good to see you,
Be
buddy.
safe.
Yeah, man.
I'm walking here.
That's right. Later, smash. Good to see you. Well, actually, we might as well start saying our good afternoons. Then maybe I'll quickly talk about my new lines, and then we'll bounce. Not a bad plan. Who wants to go next? Hardcore, Mr. Monkey
Monkey told
See
me to
No
shut up.
Evil. Is that the See No Evil monkey? No, that's the Speak No Evil monkey. Are you going to talk or are you just going to show off your monkey?
Don't be spanking it.
That's right. Oh, he just left. Spoke no
Hey
evil.
guys,
That's it, man of his own word. Go for it, Christophe. À bientôt,
don't
mon ami.
don't forget
Bah,
to
ok,
check out.
hein, Tumidor, bah, thank you for the show, my friends, et a good day at home, et puis voilà, hein, my friends, peace. Hein.
Here's Christophe.
Bye
Don't
bye,
forget to
Didi.
check out
Bonsoir. Bonsoir,
later.
buddy.
Bah ouais,
Don't
ouais,
forget to.
me sleeping,
That's right.
sleeping.
Cheers.
No, not yet.
Ouais,
Oh no,
tranquille.
it's nighttime
Et,
for Christophe, yeah.
see you
That's
soon.
right.
Bonsoir.
Bye bye.
Later, Christophe.
Bye
Bye.
bye, Tumidor,
Don't,
thank you. Bye bye.
Very good. Go
later.
for it, D.
Don't forget, everybody, to check out Christoph's YouTube channel as well. Christoph54 CO on YouTube. Like and subscribe his channel. And you can find me on my channel where I do favorite streaming favorite words. See, there's that
Absolutely.
laugh. You can find me on my channel, dzombie_745 on YouTube, where I do pre-shows, except for this show. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's the
Oh,
pre-show for the safety meeting.
cheers,
But
D.
yeah, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. Have a great week, and see you around. Like a
See you later.
circle.
Or CD. Right on, man. Excuse me. Can weed? Goddamn weed. I have seen that one hardcore now that I think about it. I feel like it would be really good for making hors d'oeuvres and stuff, right? Because you could just like have a tray and there would be a never-ending tray of hors d'oeuvres and you could just put fresh ones on there as people take them off and just like have I don't know. Or you could have like a tray that's somehow constantly rotated and I don't even know. Now we're getting crazy, right? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for watching the show. I very much appreciate it. Let me see if I can really quickly find my website. For some reason, I can't right now because I have too many freaking pages open. How ridiculous is that? Well, I've been working on all kinds of stuff. Where the fuck is it? Oh, my absolute ass. There we go. A list of C4 plants. There we go. Ladies and gerbils, take a look. Feast thine eyes on my kind of absurdly cute puppy. Yes, he is a bit of a lady killer. And yes, he does have this kind of absurdly long tongue, so he's oftentimes, when he runs, he kind of looks like a maniac, tongues flopping around back and forth. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, look at these 6 new lines for you. There's going to be a few new lines in the next few days. Most of these, I guess all of these essentially are kind of limited release. None of them really has like 200 packs or something. So they're definitely here for a while, gone in the long term. But some of them are extremely limited. For example, Banana Stand Massacre. The even the Jomo Argato, there's not too many packs of that one. The Skunk and Trunks, there's not a ton of that one either. Let me think. How many of those are there? Yeah, not a super ton of these either. So honestly, I would say these are all basically limited editions. Anyway, we don't have to go through every single line. Go take a look at the website, ladies and gentlemen. I did fuck up the pricing right there, so I'm going to try to fix that now after this the show. Looks like it didn't save last night when I set everything to go live, so that's kind of disappointing. Then I didn't check in the meantime. I should have checked, but I did not, so that's my fault. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go try to fix that here in the near future. Banana Stand Massacre is Apples and Bananas by JTR. Skunk and Trunks is the, for fuck's sake, I'm literally high. Fiji Sunset by Jack the Ripper. There we go. It's supposed to be kind of like a skunk surfing, you know what I mean? Jomo Arigato, ladies and gentlemen. Jomo JTR. Jomo is the joy of missing out. Khan, of course, is TOJTR, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely will be naming anything that I ever run with Coot stuff after villains from now on. Murder Boof, ladies and gentlemen, is Super Boof JTR. Actually, I don't really have to click on these because it's literally the same fucking picture. And Soul Ripper is, I call it Pine Soul because it was the Pine Soul cut of Goji OG across the JTR. That should be an absolute banger. Should definitely rip your soul out of your body, ladies and gentlemen, and then hopefully give it back to you after a nice tingling high. That's what we're going to go with today's advertisement. Hopefully that's accurate because otherwise people will sue me or something, right? No, I doubt it. Cheers, Western Main Man. Good to see you. He's saying peace out, E500. Good one, buddy. Small Tubes is saying peace or he's doing the dab actually. Small Tubes is doing the dab. Good to see everybody. Good to see Couch. Good to see Polly Figs. Polly Figs is sick of the fruit. What is Polly Figs saying? Fuel only. I bought a Mule Fuel clone. Also trying some of the Uncle Doobie's GMO. He's sick of the fruit. I hear that all the time. A lot of people are sick of. A lot of people are sick of the GMO. A lot of sick of the people are sick of the fruit. I hear people are sick of the pine. You know, it is what it is. People have been stoners for a long time, and you kind of overdo it in some things, right? For example, Tangy. A lot of people just overdid it with that Tangy. People are like, no, dude, I don't want the orange. Well, some people are all about the orange. You hear Smash, for example, he's all about that orange, right? Uh, Definitely lots of gas lines out here for sure. For example, that Goji OG sounded like a really, really lovely line. You can't really find it now, but definitely those kinds of things. Jeff, good to see you. Rick Cole also. Rick Cole was working, but wanted to wish everyone a good one. Good to see you, Rick. My apologies for not seeing that earlier. Silent Truth as well. Bing was back there in the chat. Oh, look at that. We didn't say hello to Jeffro. Who else was in here? There were a bunch of people in here. I think I already said Bingus. Bunch of folks. Anyway, folks, don't forget to use the coupon code BRAINS on my website. How do you pronounce that? Just out of curiosity.
Ah, brains.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Just
A.
in case you use voice to text or you ask your intelligent assistant of whatever kind on your phone to order for you, there you go. Now you know how to say it. So go take a look, ladies and gentlemen. Use those new lines or grow those new lines in your garden. I think you guys will enjoy those, especially this year's outdoor season, etc., etc. Uh, I'm babbling now. I should just shut the fuck up. Thanks very much for hanging, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see everybody. Be kind, be decent, be gentle. Don't be fucking pricks, dicks, or lunatics, ladies and gentlemen. Jones Anti-Grow, by the way, is saying I like all kinds of herb flavors, some more than others. That's the spirit right there. Be kind, be decent, be gentle, fucking ladies and gentlemen. Be kind, be decent, be gentle. Don't be fucking pricks, dicks, or lunatics. Puff something wonderful, my friends. And until we meet again, adios. Thanks for hanging. Dr. Leave alone. If I could just pronounce words properly. Dr. Leave alone. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks, Steve, for hanging. Everybody, adios. Later, Gators.